Hello guys, this is Caio for 8 and today's video is going to be on Chroma and his fire ability, and this is going to be a duration build. And how this works is that you boost his duration as high as possible along with his power strength. I wouldn't put too much range on it because range, it would help your teammates, but because of how they build Chroma, I don't think he's well built or well rounded enough to play support role with your teammates. It's more like a self-survival kind of war for him. I think he needs to be buffed some more because a lot of his moves need a little bit of some little help. Like for this build, I'm gonna be using a duration build for his fire. We're gonna be using Elemental War to boost his armor and Vex armor to boost his health, and as he takes damage to his shield, his damage boost goes up along with that as it goes up. But the thing about that is that once your timer runs out for it, the duration of the build runs out, it starts over from scratch, which is what sucks. And I think they should buff that to where you have a 2 or 3 second window to activate the power again, so you can continue off where you left off with your the build up. Because as you take damage to your shield, your damage boost goes up, and once that goes to 0, well, you gotta start all over again. Like that's one of the problems I have with this so far, because your like I think it depends on what weapon you use basically, because my Amprix is overpowered and I can't really tell the difference between damages or not. So I don't know. Probably you guys might probably see a difference in the damage, but I don't really see a difference in the damage. And I think they should buff that where you can actually see a huge change in your damage. Cause for God's sakes, I get my damage boost up to like 400%, and I still don't see much difference in my damage when I use my weapons. So I think that needs to be buffed. So yeah, this is just the fire build and the duration. The fire build is actually good for tanking as well as the ice, and I think that's very good. But what I did in one of my builds was when I was playing around with it, I did where I brought my duration down to as low as possible, where I was able to spam my Vex armor so my health could get regenerated. So if I'm dying, I could have spam Vex armor real quick, and then my health would get refilled. I use that as a support role build, but it only helps to get you but so far. Effigy now. Effigy is, I think it's Effigy. I think it's called. I don't remember, but you know what I mean. When you shed your skin, that's like a sentry. Effigy needs to be buffed a little bit. There's a downside to it. It's very situational. Like if you're gonna use it, it's more of a defense mission kind of thing to use. I don't think it's all that powerful because it drains your power if you don't have a ton of power efficiency on. So it's either you use a duration build or power efficiency build. You can't have both, so that's what sucks. And the thing about Chroma is that you can't have a build specific for ice and a strong build specific for fire or any other element, because then you're going to be taken away from another element. Like for example, you put 2V slots and 2 slash slots in Chroma. The other 4 slots, you can't put anything in them because, well, or you keep it a 3-former build, because if you add an extra D or extra slash or extra V slot, it's going to affect the other powers when you try to make a different build, because then the other powers or whatever other mode you use, whether for duration or for power efficiency, it's going to get affected based on how you build it. So it's best if you keep it at a 3-former so it'll be evened out. Because the 3-formers, you could add what, 2 V's and 1 slash, or 1 slash, 2 slash and 1 V, and then all your powers could benefit from it, because you're going to need power strength and power efficiency and flow and prime flow or prime continuity and those kind of mods. But the D polarities, now you put a D polarity in there, it's gonna affect other mods, because let's face it, your damage roll is gonna get affected, because no damage roll really uses the D polarity. So that's gonna be pretty bad for that. So yeah, Chroma needs to get buffed a whole lot. And they need to set a way where you can have a build for fire and ice without having to change your color every time you're about to go into a mission, or change your your current build, which sucks because let's face it, you're not gonna always remember to change your color and always remember to change your build every single time you're about going to a different mission. I forget to change my powers ever so often. They need to fix that. That's very bothersome. Sorry, my allergies. So that's a big problem right there. Um, let's see. What else? Yeah, Chroma has a lot that needs to be touched. He needs more augment mods. The augment mod Afterburn, I think it's called, is good but pretty bad at the same time because it only does, I think, 250 damage, and it doesn't has a blast radius. Like right where your cursor is, if you don't get direct hit with it, you will not deal any damage. It's not splash damage or anything like that. So you gotta have a direct hit. And if you're in a high level mission, then you can't focus on just one hit and all that. It doesn't do enough damage for you to take the time to use it repeatedly. So Afterburn is absolutely useless. I wouldn't recommend getting it at all. There's this other mod. That seems pretty okay. What was it? I seem to have forgotten what it's called, but I'm not even sure where to get because I've been searching for this mod forever. But it's another mod that's practically useless. But Chroma is a very fun warframe to use in my opinion. I think it's pretty fun. I've done tier 4 missions and got up to like 40 minutes with him with my ice build. I still haven't used my fire build in my T4 survivals, but I'm pretty sure I can make it because I was tanking with him in here. The biggest problem you'll find is when you run out of power or your timer runs out. You gotta restart the timer again, and then you gotta go through all of that, and that sucks. So you gotta either really keep your shields high, or you keep your health really high if you want to get the full benefit out of it, because Chroma really do need a lot of buffs. So yeah, but I would recommend him. He's very fun to use and pretty nice. Yeah, but I'm gonna just drop you guys right here. I'm gonna just drop some background music or elevator music, that cursor elevator music, and if you want to finish watching this video, or you can just skip to the right to the end and catch the build. It's a 3-former build, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment in the bottom below.
Now we finish this business once and for all!
Thank you, Tenno. It should be a long time before we hear Mayhex's ugly voice again. Now get to extraction. You've earned it. Watch yourself. Rainier are on the way.
Alright, so here we are. Let me just get straight into this build real quick. Just show you what it's all about. So you can see I have prime flow, continuity, and that kind of stuff. Health and steel fire to boost his armor a little bit. And steel charge, because I don't really use energy siphon like that, and steel charge gives you more polarity points. So this was like one of the best ways to do it, and thanks for watching.